Yo, what it diggity diggity do? Strike J, strike stream. Y'all know what we about to do right now. Slide through the TikTok. Let's see what we got.
Y'all tell me this. When the last time television just showed us something just for no reason? Just no analogy, no simile, no metaphor, no nothing. Just doing it, just to do it. When the last time they created and not copied or mimicked?
What are they trying to say?
So here's a picture of what the solar simulator looks like, right? Now, I want to show you the...
This was from October the 5th in the morning of 2022. And you can clearly see it looks like the sun is doing some sort of pulse. Annabelle Island goes back to September 13th of 2022. And you can...
Okay, so maybe y'all haven't seen the sun blinking. But shout out to Queen, because I've never seen this. But I have seen something close to this. Let me show y'all.
Some up his sleeve. Movie.
Let's go.
I think so. I got sons packaged up in the warehouse.
Ready and go!
Well, they switching out the sun?
With next day delivery on thousands of electricals, you can be sure.
China launches artificial sun. I heard about this. Boy, that thing look like a sun, don't it?
If it's already a sun in the sky, why would they need to do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Unless that one in the sky won't be shining over there where you're at anymore. These so-called fake 7 continents were small. And I want to tell my brothers and sisters, listen to me. Follow your intuition. Stop listening to other brothers and sisters. Follow your intuition. Everyone will give you the appearance of them being in a great and a magnificent situation.
That's true.
We are in hell. You understand?
In hell.
And let me just tell you this. If you are waking up, let me tell you something. This is getting harder for you.
Harder.
Not harder. It gets easier.
Nah, bro,
but when you first waking up, you start looking at your surroundings.
You
say, well, hot damn.
Like
yo, bro, listen, the Gregorian calendar, the clock, these people are not natural to this planet. You got life forms walking around here that's in suits that are in these higher positions that are just here just to usurp energy.
Reptilians. Yeah, man, that's how you get to the outer ring. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if this is already a sun in the sky, why the hell y'all folks need to launch another one? What, y'all trying to play God? Y'all trying to play creative? I'm trying to get a full understanding on why the fuck you need to put a sun in the sky. For what? I don't get it. Maybe it's something we missing here. Man, let's slide. So let's see what else we come up with. Let's see what it do.
In the oceans. That's how you get to the outer realms. So the real outer space is beyond the Antarctica and deep within our oceans. That's why if you look at their outer space missions, they're actually in water, floating around in water somewhere in Las Vegas, Nevada, and deep in the Colorado. They ain't out of space. That's why if you look, it's so many people now putting up showing that these space shuttle missions is fake as hell, man. Showing you that they ain't never been out of space. If you really want to go outer space, get your ass on a submarine and go deep within the water. That's the true outer space. And there's so many different alien bases and military base underwater and in the actual ground. They're hollowing out mountains now. They're hollowing out mountains. You can Google this. And they're making inside of mountains underground bunkers and underground military bases. Mm-hmm. So if they're doing that to the mountains, imagine what they're doing underground in space, in the water. So if you want to go outer space, go deep sea diving.
You said it's aliens.
Yeah, aliens. And all alien mean is, so Elion is a Hebrew word. That's where they get aliens from. It's really El Elyon. Uh-huh. And that just means of the Most High God. Technically, we are aliens. And that's why they studying us. That's why they stealing our melanin. Uh-huh. That's why they trying to understand the functioning of our biological vehicles. That's why they can't understand our circadian rhythm, our biological clocks. We are the most different species of humans that the planet ever had. Mm-hmm. We're so different than them. Our teeth are shorter than theirs. Their teeth are wider and longer. Mm-hmm. Their canines are longer than our canines. Their hydrochloric acid inside their stomach is hotter than ours.
You talking about white people?
I'm talking about white people. Oh. They produce a acidic enzyme in their mouth. We produce an alkaline enzyme in our mouth called amylase and amylose and trypsin. They can break down proteins and meats. Our stomachs can't break down proteins and meats because the pepsin and the hydrochloric acid doesn't get hot enough to break it down. Mm. They digestive system can go through something called putrefactions, or can't. Mm-hmm. Ours go through something called fermentation. A lot of them grow tails. Their hair grow towards the earth or towards the ground. It curls and it grows towards the sun. Mm-hmm. We have high melanin content. Inside of our melanin, we have something called selenium. They have low melanin content. Inside their melanin, they have something called ammonia. Mm-hmm. And they have a high sulfur concentration inside their cells. And that's why when they get hot, when it get hot outside, they get colder, or if it get cold outside, they get hotter. That's why you can see a white man running in Daisy Duke shorts in the middle of the winter when it's 20 below freezing. He got on a tank top and he hot. Or when they get hot and they get around water, it changes and the sulfur mixed with ammonia and it gives off this actually canine smell. And that's why they say they smell like wet dogs. You see, this is all scientifically proven.
Hey. Better him say it than me. Now don't y'all. He said.
Man, get in here. So we all just gonna ignore these peoples? So you gonna tell me this is normal? So you gonna tell me TikTok introduced these peoples? I don't want to hear nothing about no birth defect. Birth defect is one. A birth defect is maybe two.
Those supposed to be people.
But it's a whole colony of these peoples. And how come they always over there by Africa somewhere? You just gonna tell me just a new species on Earth just chilling?
Species? Oh,
boy, they is in Earth chilling on TikTok.
No, sir.
So we all just gonna act like the mouth and the eyes and all this is normal.
You get shot fucking around.
Okay. See, I don't believe my peoples gonna ignore this and not gonna talk about it. So I swear her lip is long almost to her ears.
I see something like that.
Ass, come on now. You know what?
Oh, but you getting shot.
I don't understand us. First, the Europeans came from other space planets. And then they counterparts came from other planets. Now they're in America. So my thing is, why is they showing this on TikTok? Where's these people at? Why don't they never walk outside? Why we don't never see them outside? Because they want you to get used to these people on TikTok. See, these the aliens, they shoot you in your face, but you sitting there like, oh, okay. Well, maybe it's a birth defect. No, these real aliens.
Man, what the
fuck? Ones you've been looking for. They right in your face.
That shit. Man, that's wild as fuck. That is some wild ass shit right there. I bust a cap in one of them motherfuckers. Fuck that. I'm about new species, my left 2 feet, nigga. Fuck out of here.
We all know that Antarctica is the most mysterious and intriguing continent that exists. Recently, something came out and could completely change our perception of this territory. According to this thing, Antarctica is not a vast expanse of ice at the bottom of the Earth, but rather a gigantic wall of ice surrounding all the continents of this world.
Right.
Some even believe that if we were able to cross this ice wall, we would discover other continents that have intentionally been kept hidden from us.
Right.
In 1992, a new standard world map called the Gleason map was published, depicting Antarctica encircling all our continents.
Right.
A very intriguing fact is that the logo of the United Nations strongly resembles this map. A pilot took the risk of going there despite the prohibitions and released a low-quality video claiming to have reached this ice wall. But we cannot be sure if it is truly Antarctica or if it is staged. Scientists have long established that Antarctica is indeed a continent, thanks to satellite images that show its structure and expands. Therefore, it is important to rely on solid evidence and serious research to understand our world. So is this theory simply the product of the imagination of some individuals, or are all our beliefs biased?
Imagination. Ain't no imagination. That shit for real. They've been hiding that shit from us. They've been lying that shit to us. You go anywhere close to Antarctica, they're gonna clap up in your ass. Pop, pop, pop.
You're going to want to see this. Stretching off into the horizon, we have one of the largest tabular icebergs currently on our planet. It just keeps going. Something this big is kind of hard to comprehend even when it's right in front of you, but this speaks to how much fresh, frozen water is down in the Southern Ocean. For anyone wanting some perspective, take a look at the birds that are flying next to this thing. It's probably about 200 feet high, and that's just about 15% of what's sticking out of the water. The rest is down below, like an ice wall, drifting through the ocean. Currently heading east, toward the South Orkney Islands. Kind of wouldn't believe it if...
Man, what y'all think? I think they've been lying to us for a long ass time, Playboy. It's about time to get some answers, man. Can't keep sitting around here talking about, oh, well, we can't do nothing about it. That's the whole problem. If you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
First thing a lot of people say is, where's the edge? Well, look at this map where Antarctica is a 360-degree ice barrier that holds the water in. These ice walls are real, and they stand 150 feet above the surface of the water. Then you need to understand that there is no independent access to Antarctica. Average people can only go there on a guided tour. It has no towns, no cities, and no permanent residences. What's past the 150-foot ice wall is anyone's guess. How far the ice extends, how it terminates, and what exists beyond it.
It's anyone's guess. You can only go there on a guided tour. You can't go exploring by yourself. They hiding something, bruh. I don't like these motherfuckers.
Okay, so when people continually ask me to show them the edge, how? Because right inside this one little ice ring right here is the known lands, okay? Outside that, you've got the Ancestral Republic, which is right here. I'm sure you've heard of them if you've read The Navigator That Crossed the Ice Wall. But when someone like Elon Musk says he wants to go to Mars, land of Mars, right here, human colony, okay? So let me show you a little bit of something. Let me show you something. Lands of the Anunnaki, right here. That's one of our controllers. You see how close they are to us? How easy it would be to reach us? And here's another one. The lands of the custodians. They're pretty close too. But I'm saying I'd guesstimate that at maybe 60, 70,000 miles. A lot easier to fly that distance than to come from outer space, right? But let's look around here. We got lands of Neptune. Here's the planets, right? Lands of Neptune. Lands of Venus. Lands of Saturn. Lands of Jupiter. And inside lands of Jupiter, you got the lands of Zeus. So now we start getting into some mythology here. Pegasus. Lands of Hercules. Cassiopeia. Even a galaxy. Look at there. Andromeda, right?
Oh.
But if you look at the edge of this map, it's cut off. So this plane is much, much, much larger than this. There's supposedly 178 domes. This isn't hardly any of them. You know, this is just a small portion of that. But what makes more sense to you? That the aliens come from outer space, way out in an endless vacuum, or they just come from like here?
Right.
Or like here.
That made more
and
sense.
just fly there. They can just fly to us. Think about that next time you ask someone to show you the edge. Okay.
What y'all think about that map? I think it's way too much going on that map and way too detailed for somebody to want to make that up. That's just me. But it makes sense. You think somebody coming way somewhere. Nobody got time for all that. You right next door. We finna come fucks with you. We finna come see what you got. We finna take your resources. You right next door. Bitch ain't finna go unless you got to. But you right next door. We got everything you need. That make more sense to me.
So I was scrolling on here and I found this clip. You guys gotta check it out.
Would it be easier to get people to listen if they're on a ball rather than they're on a plate?
Because if there's more land, people are going to want to work. There's actually more land? Shit. What do you mean?
And if we look at the ancient history, almost every single ancient culture depicted the earth in a similar way. The spherical earth concept was not even invented until the 5th century BC. And it didn't actually become the mainstream popular belief until about 200 years ago. So the majority of people that have lived on earth believed in a model more similar to this. And what's crazy too is no human being had ever visited the South Pole until 1911. So modern humanity has only known about the South Pole for 100 years. And the first person to ever make it to the South Pole was Roald Emerson. He not only documented the South Pole, but he also documented there was more land beyond the South Pole. He believed there was other big masses of land that had yet to be explored. And it isn't actually too crazy to think that there's land masses that we don't know about, because we still have unexplored land masses on our current map right now. Like the North Sentinel Island that has been completely untouched by humanity, and the jungle is so thick that we can't even look and see what's in there. We know nothing about the tribal people that live there, and they attack anybody that tries to come near their island. We still don't even understand the language they speak or exactly what they're doing in the middle of the jungle. And a lot of people have tried to make maps showing how the earth could look if there was more land, but one of my favorite projections is actually from the moon. Somebody actually grafted the moon where the craters were, created land masses, and mapped where there could be possibly more land mass. And I thought it was very interesting to say the least. And if you guys like this video and want to hear more about the hidden lands, then check out this video here about the Extra Terra. Also check out this video here about us living in the last days, my first video with over 1 million views. I'm also trying to get 100K on this video right here about understanding the end from the beginning. Super cool topic I haven't heard anybody cover on here yet. Make sure to hit like on this video and follow if you haven't yet. And if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, drop them in the comments.
Hey.
Did you know that the Garden of Eden is actually this place called Gondwana, and that the Adam is actually these people, the original naked man known as the Lemurian Negroid? The word Gondwana means garden forest, which comes from the biblical Hebrew word for garden, which is Gan, and the Hebrew word Varna, which means forest. The Garden of Eden, or Gondwana, was surrounded by an ice wall that is known today as Antarctica. Geologically, Gondwana is a supercontinent composed of Africa, India, Australia, South and Central America, and a portion of North America. So as you can see, Antarctica was just a biblical wall that surrounded the Garden of Eden to protect it from its invaders, aka the Anunnaki, the Chitauri, the Reptilians, the Palladians, or whatever else you want to call them. Soldiers were placed at the gate surrounding Gondwana and at the entrance of Tartarus, which is the underground infernal regions inhabited by interterrestrials. However, the reptilian infiltrated the Garden of Eden known as Gondwana in the form of a snake and then proceeded to manipulate the Lemurian Eve. The reptilian known in the Bible as Satan had sexual relations with the Lemurian woman called Eve and bore Cain, who was the first human reptile hybrid. After the loss of Abel, Cain was expelled outside of Gondwana, beyond the ice wall, where he met his wife, who was most likely a reptile like Satan. The descendants of Cain and the reptiles became known as the Fallen, and they re-infiltrated Earth through the ice wall. They intermixed with more humans, creating the hybrids known in the Bible as Nephilim. They also intermixed with animals, creating the predatory animals of Earth like lions, tigers, wolves, and etc. These reptilians posed as gods of the Earth with the Nephilim, the giant human hybrids, as their children and their army. This intermixing became so bad that the ancients decided to destroy the Earth in order to exterminate the tainted bloodlines. This is the destruction that broke apart the Garden of Eden, or Gondwana, which was known as Atlantis at this time. In the Bible, this event is known as the Great Flood, and in science it is known as the Ice Age, which ended with the Younger Dryas. It most likely occurred about 60,000 to 10,000 years ago, not millions of years ago like the reptilians would have y'all believe. The catastrophe caused the human hybrid Nephilim to open up the gates of Tartarus and escape underground, not returning topside until the flood subsided, where they became known as the Tartarians. The Nephilim also survived to the reptilian known as Namor, who was the mother of the biblical canon, and is why God of the Bible forbid the intermixing with canon. Noah and his son Ham were Lemurian, the original naked man that roamed the Garden of Eden known as Gondwana. Noah's second child was Canaan, the half-breed Semite that became the father of the Mongoloid races, as it is evident through his descendants, the Sinaites. China is named after this group of Canaanites. And his last child was Japhet, who settled the isle of the Gentiles and became the father of the Aryan races of the Middle East and Europe. I hope y'all enjoyed today's content. Like and subscribe to the 40 Ton Gorilla for more historical content. Plus Ultra.
Look, this is what we're going to do when I go through my TikTok, man. I feed y'all that comedy bullshit with the Mortimer Scooters and the Young Dope Bowl and the Stink Mouths and all the little animated dances. Yeah, we can laugh. But when we're doing this right here, we're going to touch topics that people scared to talk about. But I got to get up out of here, man. I'm going to leave y'all with this until next time. I'm Strike for Strike the Stream. Y'all stay real, y'all stay yourselves, and y'all stay good, baby. We out.